Hello everyone. In this video of Principles and Practices of Management, today's topic is coordination, the essence of managership. We would be discussing the introduction, nature, feature, need and significance, principles and types of coordination, techniques and barriers of coordination. So what is coordination? It says coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success by Henry Ford. Coordination, according to Henry Ford, says to coordinate is to harmonize all the activities of a concern so as to facilitate its working and its success. Coordination is between or in planning, organizing, staffing, directing, communicating, motivating, leading, and controlling. The introduction of coordination. So what is coordination? It says it implies an orderly pattern or arrangement of group efforts to ensure unity of actions in the pursuit of common objectives. So coordination is a process which ensures smooth interplay of the functions of management. The common objectives are achieved without much wastage of time, efforts, and money with the help of coordination. Coordination is implicit and inherent in all functions of management. Coordination requires unification of diverse and specialized activities. The purpose of coordination is to ensure harmony of actions or teamwork and concurrency of purpose. So coordination is the orderly synchronizing of efforts of the subordinates to provide the proper amount, time, and quality of execution so that their unified efforts leads to the stated objective, namely the common purpose of the enterprise. Let's come to the nature of the organization, which says not a distinct function, but the very essence of management, the basic responsibility of manager. It does not arise spontaneously or by force. The fourth one says it is the heart of coordination is unity of action, purpose. It is dynamic process, that is, it is continuous and it's an ongoing process. It is required in group efforts, not in individual efforts. It has a common purpose of getting organizational objectives accomplished, and it is necessary to all levels of organization. According to Allen, a manager in managing must coordinate the work for which he is accountable by balancing, timing, and integrating. So basically the three elements of coordinations are balancing, timing, and integrating. Let's come to the need and significance of coordination. It says first, it is increase in size and complexity of operations, specialization, there is clash of interest, efficiency and effectiveness. Let's explain one by one. It says increase in the size and complexity of operations means there is a need for coordination arises as soon as the operations becomes multiple and complex. Specialization is division of work into specialized functions and departments leads to diversity and lack of uniformity. Clash of interest is coordination needs to avoid conflict between the individual and the organizational goal. Effectiveness and efficiency is coordination helps to improve the efficiency of operations by avoiding the overlapping efforts and duplication of work. Quality of coordination determines the effectiveness of the organized efforts. Unity of direction or team says coordination helps to ensure unity of action in the face of disruptive forces. It helps unity of action, helps to avoid conflict between the line and the staff element. Human relation is the coordination helps to improve the team spirit and morale of employees, as well as in a well coordinated organization, organizational goals and personal goals of people are collided. Essence of management means coordination is all inclusive concept and the end result of management process. Coordination helps in accomplishment of organizational goal basically. So different outlook means it becomes imperative to recollide differences in approach, timing, and efforts to secure the unity of action. Conflict is coordination avoids potential sources of conflict. Let's come to the principles of coordination. Uh, Mary Parker's follets there are four principles of coordination, or the main principles of coordination, that is the early stage, continuity, direct contact, reciprocal relations. But there are additional four principles of coordinations, that is the effective communication, mutual respect, clarity of objective, and scalar chain. First principle says early beginning means coordination can be achieved more easily in early stages of planning and policy making. Plans should be based on mutual participation. Early coordination also improves the quality of the plans. Continuity means it is an ongoing or never-ending process. Sound coordination resolves conflict. Next, let's come to the direct personal contact. It says coordination is best achieved through direct personal contact with people. Direct face-to-face contact communication is more effective. Reciprocality means it states that all factors in a given situation are interdependent and interrelated. When people appreciate reciprocality of relations, they avoid unilateral action and coordination becomes easier. Let's come to the types of coordination. On the basis of scope or coverage, there are two types of coordination, that is the internal coordination and the external coordination. Internal coordination is again divided into two, that is the vertical and horizontal coordination. The internal coordination says it is establishment of relationship among the managers, executives, divisions, subdivisions, and other workers. This type of coordination helps within the organization. The managerial functions which require internal coordinations are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Under internal coordination, the vertical coordination says it is the superior coordinates with work with his sub-coordinators and vice versa. Like sales manager coordinates his work with the activities of the sales supervisor. Horizontal coordination refers to the coordination between the persons of the same status, coordination between the departmental heads or supervisors or co-workers. External coordination is basically establishment of relationship of managers and executives, divisions, subdivisions, and other workers with the general public and different organizations. Thus, organization relationships with like customers, competitors, owners, government regulations, changing technology, other enterprises, businesses, and political environment is the external coordination. But on the basis of the organizational structure, there are three other types of coordination. That is the pool coordination, means in this type of, this is a type of interdependency. Like each organizational department or business unit performs completely separate functions. While departments may not directly interact and do not directly depend on each other in the pooled interdependency model, but each does contribute individual piece to the same overall puzzle. So this model requires standardization in rules and operating procedures. Sequential coordination is basically, this model occurs when one unit in the overall process produces an output necessary for the performance by the next unit. Resources in a sequential interdependency model are essential to efficient operations. Reciprocal coordination is it is similar to the sequential interdependency in that the output of one department becomes the input of another, with the additional of being cylindrical. In this model, an organization's department are at their highest intensity of interaction. So reciprocal model are the most complex and difficult to manage as one unit can change the rules and affects everyone else at any time. The techniques of coordination. Sound planning means planning as the ideal stage of coordination. Clear-cut objectives, harmonized policies, and unified procedures and rules ensure uniformity of action. Simplified organization means a simple and sound organization is an important means of coordination. Clear-cut authority relationships helps to reduce conflicts and to hold people responsible. Coordination by committees is like committee is a body of persons entrusted with charges of some functions collectively as a group. It is significant in achieving horizontal coordination. Self-coordination is modification of functioning of department in such a way that each department coordinates with other department. It can be done by horizontal communication. Effective communication is like effective exchange of opinions and information helps in resolving differences and in creating mutual understanding. Effective leadership and supervision is sound leadership can influence subordinates to have identity of interest and to adopt to common outlook. Chain of command means authority is the supreme coordinating power in an organization. Exercise of authority through the chain of command or hierarchy is the traditional means of coordination. Indoctrination and incentives, that is the profit sharing. The liaison departments is the liaison officers may be employed where frequent contact with different organizational units are necessary. Then the general staff or the corporation is the general staff is very helpful in achieving interdepartmental or horizontal coordination. The last one is the voluntary coordination, which is voluntary coordination is possible in a climate of dedication and mutual operation. This is a small few points are there where what is the difference between the coordination and the cooperation. Like coordination is the orderly arrangement of group efforts to pursue the common goal, but this is the mutual help cooperation. The scope of coordination is wider, that is which includes includes as well as because it harmonizes the group efforts, whereas cooperation is termed as only a part of coordination. Function of the coordination is performed by the top level, whereas this function of cooperation are performed at prepared by persons at any level. The fourth point says requirement where coordination is required by employees in the departments at work irrespective of their work, but the cooperation is emotional in nature, like because it depends on the willingness of the person working together. The relationship in coordination is formal, in this cooperation is informal. Freedom in coordination is planned and entrusted by the central authority and it is essential. Cooperation, it depends upon the sweet will of the individual and therefore it is not necessary. The last one is the barriers of the communication coordination, which is like the natural hindrance. There could be bad weather or poor health situation, the inadequate or lack of administrative talent, next lack or inadequate of techniques of coordination, or there can be misunderstanding, then competition of for resources, next disagreement on objectives and ideas, next differing expectations of coordination, or there can be lack of trust or cost benefit perceived or unsatisfactory, then there can be rapid staff turnover or there can be poor transmission or preparations. To conclude, I would say a good coordinator is a good leader and a good leader is a good manager. Thank you.